how would you work with city council with regards to allotting funds for the new existing programs that you've all talked about? How will you work with city council? That's the question.
Since I have the mic, here's the thing. One of the things you have to understand is that as mayor, you set the tone for the people up under you and that report to you, and you have to be able to reach out to city council. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do, because when I look back over the past 5 financials that we've had, they've been passed on an emergency basis, which means that no one on city council has read them and they declared an emergency and passed it. What I'm going to do is make sure that specifically in my budget, there is a line item for youth programs. Now, with regards to that, I will specifically address that and let them know, if you're not on the platform of the mission of building a better Akron and getting into that vision, we've got to invest in our youth. But at the end of the day, we've got to have that as a line item in our budget.
Mr. Horgan.
Just for clarification, for your purposes, city council does not work for the mayor. And I think in starting on that particular level, then you know that they are co-equal partners in being able to do that. And as I was on city council for 7 years, and I worked pretty diligently with my council members, and pretty respectfully too. And it starts with a tone of civility, all the way across the board. You have to be respectful of other people's opinion. It's an attitude I have in the classroom, it's an attitude I have in the clerk's office, and on city council. When you start with there, then I think a lot of things are possible. So how will I work with city council? By respecting them first.
Well, first off, having been on council for 28 years, I had the opportunity to shift the focus in my early years on council to the Parks and Recreation Department, and a number of community centers were built during that period of time to specifically address the issues and concerns we had with our youth and having places for youth programming. When I started on city council, the mayors of Ward 4 told me they wanted the Lawton Street Community Center rehab and brought back into service. That's exactly what we did, and we put that in as a budget priority. Now, city council reports to, the mayor reports to the citizens of Akron, and city council reports to the citizens of Akron. So it's the citizens of Akron that need to speak and say that they want youth as a priority in the budgeting of their money, period. And we will continue to do that. And I will always work with city council. As a member of city council, I know how it feels to be mistreated by the administration.
It's great, and trust me, I clearly understand the roles of the mayor and the roles of city council, but I can't help but think, but for the past 32 years, you've given the perception that the mayor controlled and ran city council, because I've yet once seen anyone that's on city council disagree with anything that the mayor wanted to do. So let's make sure we are clear on that. Okay, now, wait a minute, are you going to talk over me, or can I have my 1 minute? I did not interrupt you. You saying it's not true is not going to change the perception. So, at the end of the day...
Please give your response, please.
Thank you. Now, having said that, one of the biggest problems that we have when it comes down to community learning centers, and Mr. Williams brought it up apropos, is that the money that comes in from that 0.25% increase is not being properly allocated and appropriated within the budget. Because if you reallocate the spending, you can make the community learning centers available to the community.
Okay, Mr. Williams.
First of all, I have to rebut on a couple of things. Second of all, I'm a walking, living example of a person who has challenged the administration and disagreed with many things that the administration has done. Matter of fact, there's a number of 12-to-1 votes on city council, with me being the one lone no vote. Second, the 0.25 income tax increase cannot be used for anything other than school construction without the permission of the citizens of Akron. So the school construction money has to go to school construction. Then we would have to go back and ask permission of the citizens of Akron to keep that 0.25% if they should so choose to do so and dedicate it to something else. So this is where we have our limitations.
Okay. Any other rebuttal?
Yeah, just one small one. I apologize. I didn't mean to speak over you. That was unintentional on my part as well.
Okay.